Line them up and I'll slay them all. This is how Phil Heath addressed his opponents. A confident statement by the reigning Mr. Olympia truly shows that he is so confident he would beat anyone on the Olympia stage. It all started in 2011 when Phil dethroned Jay Cutler and won the Sandow for the first time. His 2011 version has been arguably considered as the best during his Olympia competition so far. Phil managed to present an aesthetic yet huge physique, leaving no doubt that he was the rightful winner of the 2011 Mr. Olympia. Kai Greene presented himself as Phil's main rival. They clashed at the 2012, 2013 and 2014 Mr. Olympia, with Phil winning the title and Kai placing second. Phil rightfully won the 2012 and the 2013 Mr. Olympia with the fullness and the roundedness he brought on stage. His midsection was still tight at that point and no symptoms of the bubble gut were noticeable. In 2014, Phil's problems with the bloated gut started. I don't know what he exactly did to trigger this issue. No matter what the cause was, Phil's midsection was not as tight as it was in the 2013 or 2012. With Kai on the other hand bringing a great physique on stage, yet was not enough to dethrone the champ. Kai, on the other hand, also had bloated gut, but was not as distended as that of Phil. You need to understand that the bubble gut is not a Phil trademark. Almost all pro bodybuilders have this issue, even those who have been recognized as aesthetic bodybuilders. But sticking this issue to Phil and keep picking on him for that is what gives the impression that this is only Phil's problem, when in fact it's a common problem for all pro bodybuilders nowadays. In 2015, Phil defeated Dexter Jackson to win his 5th Sandow. Dexter brought a great physique and proved that he is definitely one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, being able to threaten Mr. Olympia although he is in his late 40s. However, and as usual, Phil edged and defeated Dexter with his 3D effect back. Dexter had no chance whatsoever matching Phil from the back and thus lost the chance to upset the champ for the first time ever in his Olympia winning streak. In 2016, Phil dominated the competition the way he did in 2015 and defeated Sean Rawdon, who placed second. Sean was no match for Phil at all. He lacked the fullness and the muscular depth Phil has, especially from the back. He simply looked like an amateur, and Phil won his 6th Sandow in what has been considered as one of his easiest competitions ever. It's worth mentioning that Phil improved his midsection that year and showed that he managed to overcome the problem of the bloated gut. The bloated gut returned on stage at the 2017 Mr. Olympia and arguably more than ever. Granted, Phil's physique was awesome this year, full, rounded and huge. His wheels and 3D back were greater than ever, and his physique overall was definitely hard to defeat. However, his bloated gut was distended in a way that triggered criticism everywhere on social media, with people rooting for Big Ramy as the uncrowned Mr. Olympia. I actually disagree with that opinion. Big Ramy definitely achieved a great progress, but he wasn't good enough to defeat Phil. He still lacks the definition and the muscular maturity Phil has, especially from the back. If Phil managed to control his midsection this year, we would have ended up watching one of the Olympia greatest physiques of all time. After the 2017 Mr. Olympia, Phil announced that he was going to undergo an operation to fix some hernia he has been living with for long, suggesting that this might be the reason why he had a distended gut this year. Big Ramy presented himself as a real threat. Granted, his physique was not good enough to defeat Phil, but if he managed to reach the necessary definition and muscular maturity, and if Phil for any reason was not as sharp as should be, then Big Ramy may become the 2018 Mr. Olympia, unless Kai Greene decided to compete again. We need to wait and see how things will go. That was all for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and many thanks for watching. Have a nice one.